Welcome to another episode of What If Moments for Moms. I'm so excited that you all decided to join us today. I have a really special guest. Her name is Amber Avila. She's here with me. We're going to talk about foster parenting, special needs parenting, her incredible story. I can't wait for you all to hear it. Stephanie, of course, will be here with a hack for our home, and Dr. Brooks Gibbs will do another mental health moment. So grab a cup of coffee or tea and take this moment just for you. Welcome to What If Moments for Moms. I'm so excited that you guys are here. My friend Amber is here. She might look a little familiar. Her twin sister Amy has been on our show a few times before. But Amber, I'm so happy that you're here with me.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Yes, this worked out great.
It did.
Yes.
It did.
So I'm so excited to talk about your story. When we had our phone conversation, you have such an incredible story. So I would love to just start. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your family. Just start there.
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to give God all the glory.
Yeah.
So when I was younger, I was told that I wouldn't be able to have biological kids. So I did go through some infertility stuff, but overall, I always knew that I would be an adoptive mom. Mm-hmm. So I was really excited about the whole process. I wanted lots and lots of kids. And so it was about an 8-year journey before I adopted my first child.
Okay.
So I was in my 30s.
Mm-hmm.
And, when you adopt, it's a different process. And I think the important thing that I want to kind of share is that when I adopted, I didn't really have a good community of other mothers. Mm-hmm. And as you know, as a mother, it doesn't matter if you're a foster mom, adopted mom, biological mom, stand in the gap mom, that you really do need a community.
Yes.
And I think Christ first, you need your partner.
Mm-hmm.
To be there and know what you need.
Right.
He needs to know what your love language is, so he can stand in there when you're overwhelmed. And community, even if it's one girlfriend that gets you, that can come over when you feel overwhelmed. And I felt that way because multiple children that I adopted have special needs, and one has significant special needs, and he's much like a Down syndrome child. And so the developmental steps were much slower. And I just felt like I needed to have other people to help me navigate that.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think as any mom, we're all doing it for the first time, right? It's like,
yes, and they just give you this baby and you take it home. And
you want to do it right.
Absolutely.
I know for me, I waited a long time. And I really had so much invested in being a good mom. Mm-hmm. And I think with people who have to wait, in particular, people who go through infertility, your expectation for yourself is way bigger than anybody out there in the world they don't even have an expectation, but your own personal expectation is so big. Yeah. And so I felt like leaning into the Lord, leaning into my church, leaning into other moms who let it be okay for me to be vulnerable about how overwhelmed I felt. How stressed I felt and inadequate, and also really bringing it to me that God doesn't give us more than we can handle, and if He does, He's preparing us. Right. So in those moments when I felt so weak as a mother, He was preparing me, and it's so easy now because my children are older to look back and say, "Oh my goodness, God really carried me through that." Yeah. And He gave me these tools to not only to share, but He gave me these tools that are that I can carry through all of the facets in my life. Right. So
I think during our phone conversation, you said to me, you always wanted to be a mom.
Always.
So
my twin sister, no.
So I love talking to both of you because it's so different. You all look alike, but it's so very different. So tell me, how long did you know you had that you weren't going to be able to have biological children?
Well, I have a genetic lung disease, and so I knew pretty much right when I started, having doctors talk to me and everything.
So you knew that
they said that you wouldn't be able to get pregnant.
Okay. So what would you tell a mom that might be in that season where they're hearing those words for the first time? Like their expectation is all they want to do is be a mom, but now this doctor just told them, well, you can't.
Right. I think that the most important thing is that you can. Yeah. Yep. You can. So being told that you can't doesn't, just because if you can't carry the baby all of my children grew in my heart. And I truly believe in adoptive situations and in fostering. I was a foster mom as well. That each of those they're specifically put into your life for a reason. God doesn't make mistakes. He's always intentional. And each of my children was placed in my life very specifically and purposely. Right. And so I think that when I heard it, it wasn't a surprise. I always had a heart to adopt.
Okay.
So I did grieve. I grieved the pregnancies. Like I would look around and all these women, and particularly young women, who are like, I'm not really ready to be a mom.
It's so hard.
You know, I'm getting, you know, I don't like the way I look or whatever. And I was like, oh, you know, it's such a privilege to be able to carry a life. Yeah. And I felt like, you know, they just don't understand the magnitude of that privilege. But I would say to a mom, you can still be a mom. Yeah. And adoptive mom, foster mom, IVF mom, stand in the middle mom. A mom, I serve in my church in the nursery, and those, all spiritual mom.
Yeah.
So you can be a mom in so many different ways, but adopting, fostering, those are all beautiful ways that God's intended for us to be moms.
Absolutely. I love that when they say you can't, you really can.
You can.
You can.
Absolutely.
But I also love
and you can thrive.
You have.
You can thrive.
Like
yes.
Looking at your picture, so okay, you have 5 children right now? Okay,
I do.
Tell me names, ages, like.
Okay, Max is 19, he's
okay.
be 20, and he's amazing. He was the one that, when he was born, I literally, all of the pain of not being able to, you know, watch all of my girlfriends have their children, and I waited a long time. Literally the moment that he was born, God poured grace over me, and I just was healed. All of that angst and anger of like, you know, I don't get to do this, was transformed. And every time I looked at him, I was just like, I could not believe that God placed me as his mom. It was such a big honor and responsibility. And then 6 months later, Gabe was born, and Gabe is amazing. They are so different. And then Mason was born 2 years later, and Mason just turned 15. Gabe is 18. And then I started to foster, stand in the gap foster, which is respite care. And a lot of people don't really know that you can be a foster care mom and be a respite one, where you just stand in for weekends. Oh, so there's lots of different ways that you can, you should look into fostering because you can give back in a lot of different ways. And so I was just giving back with weekend fostering for girls because I didn't have any girls. Yeah. So I was like, I just need to fill that little, and ended up adopting them and Brooke and Margaret. And so God is so good. And he does equipping behind the scenes for us as moms and then through other people, I believe.
Yeah. And I love through other people, the community aspect of it. And I think something we talked about on the phone was, right now, like I do just have one. Like we do have our church family, but life groups right now are hard.
Oh, they're so hard.
18 little children, we're not focusing on anything except for wrangling kids. But the fact that I can call my best friend Lindsay at any moment.
Right.
She was the first one. I called her in the bathroom when I took the pregnancy test. Like she was the first. I said, what is this? And she's a very emotional friend, which it's kind of funny. Like we just laugh when she cries because she always cries. So it's funny, but then people think we're mean. I'm like, no, she just always cries. It's fine.
Yeah, she's emotional.
But she just started crying. She's like, it's positive because we did try for so long. And man, every month after month after month, it was just disappointment and like, not this month again, not this month again. And she's younger than I am, and she did get pregnant before me. And when she told me, like I celebrated her in the car. We were actually on our way to life group, and then when I dropped her off back at her car, I lost it. Yeah. And I just she's my best friend. I'm just ecstatic for her. But man, like I'm so much older than her. Like, am I ever gonna have a baby?
Right.
Like, why?
And
not
then you
us?
you go to the Lord and you say, why not me?
Absolutely.
I mean, I took all the classes. I remember I did a lot of kind of worldly preparation. I was like, I know CPR. I could do infant massage. I really felt like, I felt like I was trying to get everything prepared.
Do everything perfectly. Yeah.
Yes. And and so you feel like, why not me? Why not at this moment?
Yeah.
But his timing. Mm-hmm. I mean, if we lean into his promises and truly believe them, then we know that his plans for us are good.
Amen. That's so good. That's so good.
Yeah.
What a great place to take a break and stop. So we're going to take a break to go see Stephanie's What the Hack moment, and we'll be back with a little bit more from my friend Amber.
We want to connect with you. Make sure to visit our website, momentsformoms.tv, for the latest episodes of the show, guest information, resources, and so much more. Visit momentsformoms.tv today.
The hat. They're singing.
Hey there, on this segment of What the Hack, I wanted to share with you guys something that I did last Christmas, but you could do it for any holiday, any occasion. I mean, you don't even need an occasion to do it. But last Christmas we were having breakfast and I wanted to send everybody home with something to eat, but not in Tupperware and not in bags, something a little more festive and cute. So I made a charcuterie box, which, let's call it what it is. It's an adult Lunchable, right? So I simply got these cute little boxes off of Amazon. You can get them at Walmart also. I got some meats, I've got some cheeses, some fruits, some vegetables, crackers, desserts, and I just put together the most adorable little box, and I wanted to show you how I did it. So these boxes came with these adorable little boxes also. So I'm just gonna take some carrots and I'm gonna put them in that cute little box, some ranch dressing, all of this stuff you can get at the grocery store, you can get at Aldi for, price effective. So I'm gonna put that in there. And then I'm gonna take some crackers in the corner here, a few little dessert items right here, a little muffin, so cute. And then I'm gonna take some cheeses. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take them and I'm just gonna do them opposite directions so they look fun and festive and fancy. I got two different kinds of cheeses, and this is the great thing about this. You can do absolutely anything you want. If you wanted to do these for kids, you could do fun little kid charcuterie boxes with fun little desserts. So I have the cheeses I'm gonna put in here. I have some turkey that I'm gonna put in here that I rolled up really cute. Gonna stack that in there, and I'll show you this as soon as I get done with it. I'll show you the whole box. And then I have some grapes because you need some freshness. And then I'm gonna show you the cutest thing that you can make, okay? So you take a water glass, you take salami, and you simply take the salami and you wrap it around the top of the water glass, okay? Quite a few pieces. Maybe 8, 10. Keep wrapping it around so you get the fullness that you want. And then, okay, are you ready for this? How cute. It makes a rose. How super cute is that? And it makes your box just a little bit more festive. So I'm gonna put the rose in here. So cute. This way. How cute is that right there? And then what you can do is you can take, if it's for Christmas, you can take an ornament and put it in there. If it's for a girls' night, you can simply put some cute little flowers in and make it festive. Any occasion, any night, I got little sunflowers that could go in there just for a fun girls' day. So that's what I did. I sent everyone home with a charcuterie box. Nobody wanted to cook later that day since we were having breakfast. There's not much open. So I thought, what a cute little idea. If you have any questions, my email is right here. Please feel free to drop me a note. I'm always here to answer your questions. I'm so thankful to be a part of What If Moments for Moms, and I'll see you next time.
Welcome back. I'm here with my friend Amber, and we're talking about just her story, how she always wanted to be a mom. Now she was a foster mom and is an adoptive mom. She has special needs kids, and she just has an incredible story, and the Lord has just used her in incredible ways. I love talking with her. I'm so glad she's here. Thank you so much for being here.
I'm excited to be here.
I appreciate you sharing your story.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
I think we want to focus this segment on parenting special needs children and what that looks like, because it has to look different, right?
Yeah.
And were you prepared? Did you know like what you were going to do before?
I think there's a lot of special needs parents out there.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a little shout out for them. You're all superheroes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that, I don't think anyone's really prepared for it. I think you always kind of conceptualize that your child's going to be the president of the United States or something, obviously something like that. And so when those expectations change, particularly with a diagnosis or a change in behavior, then, you have to rearrange your thoughts about what your child's going to be, who they're going to be, and how you're going to parent them. And I think for me, one child in particular, Mason, he's 15, he was diagnosed with 2 different mental disorders. And he presents, or he acts a lot like a child, a Down syndrome child.
Okay.
And so he's 15, but cognitively he's like maybe 6.
Okay. Wow.
So he's meeting those milestones at about 6. So I think that when I talk to, and I do talk to I'm plugged into groups. I think when you first find out that your child is a special needs child, the most important thing that you can do is pray about it. Mm-hmm. Thank God for this special needs child, because God never makes mistakes. Yeah. He didn't make a mistake when he had your child be born with this particular difference, and it gives them a superpower. I don't believe that being different makes you, makes them any less of a perfect creation. Right. So I often ask, and I often tell mothers to just embrace that, and to realize that they don't have to fix it.
Yeah.
They don't have to make their child into anything other than what God created them to be.
That's good.
For them, I would say, get on your whatever your platform, social platform that you enjoy the most. Pray for God's discernment over who you're going to gather into your tribe, and meet other moms that have children with the same diagnosis.
Yeah.
Then get your child together with that, with those children. Create a community for your child that has special needs. Yeah. They can navigate out in the atypical world, of course. They probably have atypical siblings, and they will need to be able to function out there. Right. But creating a community where they can be themselves is really important. Yeah. And I think I learned that pretty early on, even though my child's diagnosis is not, I do have an autistic child, but is not more of the norm of that of a special needs diagnosis. You can still find, now that we live in a virtual world, you can find other moms, even online, that you can chat with. Yeah. My only thing is I would definitely pray for discernment, that those women would lift you up. Right. And that you could also turn each other towards Christ.
Yeah, that's so good. I remember even with Charlie, for me, like the community of that, we formula fed, and I remember feeling so judged by that, like, but people didn't know my story or my why. No. They had no idea why I chose to do that. Right. I couldn't do the, but nobody cared to ask. It was just like, basically, how dare you? And I found a group of women. It was like a formula feeding moms group. Perfect. And we're still a part of that, because it was December 2020 babies. So it was very specific. Oh, yes. And it's not necessarily a Christian-based group, but they were all encouraging and loving, and we're all on there in the middle of the night trying to figure out what in the world. It just, when you feel like you're not alone, when you're not isolated, when you can talk to somebody else and they're like, oh yeah, same.
Amen.
It's like, oh, so it's not just me, I'm not failing. Like, I'm not a terrible mom.
Right.
There's just something so empowering about that.
There is. And I think that once you feel empowered, you're able to share that with other women. Yeah. And truly, our story and our testimony, I believe that God puts us through trials in our life so that we can build that up. Yeah. So that you can share it with me, I can share it with you. Right. We can be in communion with each other, community with each other. I often felt judged as I didn't tell a lot of moms straight away that I was an adoptive mom. But because my kids don't look like me, a lot of them were like, are those your children? Right. Are you babysitting? And so there was a season in my life where I felt like I had to have an explanation. I had to have, and you know what? You never do.
No.
You know what? Go to God.
Right.
Go to God. Yeah. And you know what your situation is. You know why you're doing what you're doing. Right. And if you feel like that is what you need to do, then you hold your head up high and you do it.
Absolutely.
And you know that you're putting your child's needs first. I think that's really important, is that some moms groups, it can be competitive. Yeah. It can be, it can, you know, it's crazy, but it can be. That's why I say pray for discernment. Yeah. Because even in foster care, I was involved in foster care, and I had 500,000 foster kids. I had 2 foster kids, or, you know, they would have this play back and forth. Wow. And I never really realized that until, you know, you start really looking at it like, well, let's talk about the children. Right. Let's talk about our kids, and not about that. So really focusing on your children. Mm-hmm. Special needs, focus on your child's diagnosis. Focus on how you can help them. Focus on not trying to fix them. I went through a stage with Mason of trying to make him so normal. Oh, yeah. You know, dress him normal. He just, you know, and when I mean normal, status quo, like just, he's got to look like all of the other kids. He's got to act like the other kids, because when we're in public, am I going to get judged as a mom? And you know, then I just let it go, and I prayed about it, and I said, you know what? Who are these people? Like, I don't even, why am I doing this when he's so perfectly made? Mm-hmm. And really, when I keep that in perspective, it helps me too, because I realize if Jesus loves us as much as we love our children, we have nothing to worry about.
I can't even,
we can keep running back to him.
Yeah. Absolutely. And the fact that the Lord chose you specifically to be his mom.
Yes. Yes.
So, I mean, yeah.
And that I've told all my kids, because as they got older in developmental stages, did I grow in your belly? Mm. You know, and they see other pregnant mommies, and they're like, I was in your belly. Right. And I would say, my mommy belly didn't grow you, but my heart grew you.
That's so good.
And you know, children are so open to love. Oh, so if you're saying it in love, they're so receptive. Oh, you don't have to say anything in particular. Like there's books out about, you know, how you break it to your children that they're adopted or whatever. I truly believe that if you speak it in love, and they receive it,
right? Yeah, because that's not what the Lord does. Like,
exactly.
I mean, we did have a heart to adopt, and we still might, you know, because we did try so long, and I just wasn't getting pregnant, and I was in my late 30s, and I'm like, okay, like when does this get like, hey, you're too old, right? You know, advanced maternal age. I think my pregnancy was labeled geriatric pregnancy, and I'm like,
it's crazy, but
is there not a better term? Like, what? No, that reminds me of like Velcro shoes. Yes. Like when I hear that term, I'm like, I don't feel like I have to wear Velcro shoes, but we thought we were gonna adopt, and I had prepared my heart for that, and then, but just like you wanted to be, you know, you had thought that you were gonna be a biological mom before you learned, you know, and I thought I was gonna be an adoptive mom. We still might down the road, because at this point in my age, I don't really want to have another physical birth, but it's just like if we can just trust the Lord's plan and the Lord's timing. Yes. And for me, the timing was so much longer. My husband's a little bit younger than I am, so his friends' wives are younger than I am, and I'm just seeing them like pop them out. I know. I'm like, what is wrong with me? Like, I'm gonna be like a senior citizen at their graduation, and just all of these like thoughts. But we talked about that, like looking back now on when he chose to give us Charlie and to allow me to get pregnant was his perfect plan for us. Absolutely. And every single one of your children, adopted, foster care, like was specifically planned and designed for you. Yes. And it's just a beautiful story.
Well, and I think that when we live in a world where, you know, we were able to have access to seeing all of these young women, of course, having perfect pregnancies, getting pregnant, immediately carrying, you know, and then, you know, you look and you compare. And if you sit in the world, I think for me, I really struggled with it because I have an identical twin sister. And all of my friends they all started having children way before I did. And so, you know, I just thought, you know, wow, all these, and I would you know, I'd be praying with them and be so excited, and then go home and cry and think,
oh yeah, same. Yeah.
You know, why not me? Right. Why, am I not good enough? Why, Lord? And then cultivating all of those years of waiting. Yeah. He produced something very beautiful in me, because when I look back, I am 100% certain I was not prepared when I thought I was.
Same. I really thought I was.
And I would have been a very, very different parent. Yes. I would not have been as patient. Right. And, you know, my children, it would have been a very different outcome, I think. So
yes. The Lord knows best. He does. It's our job to trust him. Thank you so much.
Surrender.
Surrender. So hard. It's so hard, but it's so good. Yes. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it.
It was wonderful.
Yes. Well, stay with us. Dr. Brooks Gibbs is going to be here with a mental health moment, and we will see you back in just a little bit.
For the Christian Television Network, I'm Dr. Brooks Gibbs, and welcome back to your mental health moment. Today we're delving into a virtue that is essential in our journey through life: perseverance. Romans chapter 5, verse 3 through 4 gives us a compelling perspective, and it says this: "Not only so, but we also glory in our sufferings, because we know that suffering produces perseverance. Perseverance, character, and character, hope." You see, it's human nature to shy away from challenges and trials, but this scripture reminds us that there's a value and there's growth in perseverance. It's through enduring hardships that we develop resilience, character, and ultimately hope. While the journey may be tough, the growth through these experiences will lead you to a brighter tomorrow. But you have to invite God in the suffering. So hold on, keep pressing forward. Trust that every struggle is shaping you for a better future. For the Christian Television Network, I'm Dr. Brooks.
You did it. Say hi, everybody.
Hi, Dr.
What are we doing? We are trying some new fruits. Which one's that? Do you remember? It's the honeydew.
A honeydew.
Do you like that honeydew? What do you think?
Oh, it's melting.
It's melting, the honeydew?
No.
Oh.
Water going around me.
Here, take my napkin. Clean it. Do you like the honeydew?
Yeah.
Cool. What other ones are in there? Do you remember what that one's called?
Honeydew.
That one's cantaloupe.
Cantaloupe.
Do you like the cantaloupe? So
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we're trying new fruits today. The red one is, do you remember what that one is? Watermelon. No, say it out loud.
Watermelon.
Watermelon. Do you like the watermelon?
Yeah. Bye.
Oh, we're done.
What If? Moments for Moms is more than just a show. It is a community of moms encouraging each other on this incredible journey we have been called to. Join our private Facebook group to share your mom moments, questions, small victories, and connect with other moms as we all come together in this ministry called motherhood. We can't wait to see you there.